Buckle up for another episode of Ghostfacers, a supernatural rewatch podcast. My name is Richard, and shotgun, as always, is my brother in podcasting, Reed.
I mean, hey.
You needed to eat, didn't you? You forgot to eat.
Nothing.
Are you...
Everything's fine here.
No, it's time to tie you to the chair.
Yeah, should we tenderly make love first?
That's why I said tie you to the chair.
Tenderly?
That's the only way to do it. Let's get into it.
Ghostfacers! We face a ghost, when others were not, we're ghosts! Ghostfacers! Stay in the kitchen when the kitchen gets hot! Ghostfacers! We face a nightmare, we face a dread! Ghostfacers! We face a faceless, we face a dead!
Welcome to Ghostfacers. Today we're discussing Season 2, Episode 17, Heart.
Crazy on you.
Oh, wait. I was going to go,
Crazy on you.
we stand heartache to heartache. Love is a battlefield.
Except that's Pat Benatar.
Yeah, I know, but the heartache. And that was the first thing.
But I was singing Heart.
The band Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
a good song for the show.
Barracuda.
Ooh, Barracuda.
Ooh, werewolf cuda.
Ooh, Barracuda.
Boston ass. Oh, it's a bomb bad werewolf.
Yeah.
Have we lost you yet?
Good. None of this is good.
This isn't usable.
I'm glad we got rid of you early. Nothing what we're about to do is quality.
Yeah, let's weed out the prequel haters before we get into this episode of Supernatural.
Yeah. This episode of Supernatural aired March 22nd, 2007. Written by Sarah Gamble.
Amazing.
Always a good episode
Love
with
her.
Sarah. Directed by, of course, Kim Manners. Get some effect-y stuff in this, so...
Sorry, I was drinking.
You were
while
so
you said
not, like, paying attention.
I gave a little hype for Sarah Gamble, but I was mid-coffee drink when you said Kim Manners.
Mm-hmm.
Give me another take.
I'll
do it again.
Why don't you improve your Kim Manners?
Yeah, here.
Written by Sarah Gamble, directed by Kim Manners.
Oh, fuck, I did it again.
I was hoping you would, like, spit out your coffee.
I thought about it, then I was like, these are good mics.
Your laptops are also right in front of you.
Whatever, work will pay for a new one.
Hey, wait a minute, I'm work. I don't like this precedent we're setting. This episode was viewed by an estimated 3.38 million viewers.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty right down the center.
That's pretty good for this era, though.
Yeah,
getting like on the closer side to 3.5 is pretty solid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry, I was drinking coffee.
It's an all episode.
That's what happens when we record at 9 a.m. This episode. Wow. I don't even. God. All right, come on, wake up.
I mean, we're obviously going to leave all this in, but
Have I ever edited this kind of thing out?
or anything.
No, I edited a lot out in the beginning.
Really?
Mostly just dead air.
Of this?
No, not this show.
Oh, that's what I mean.
No. God, this show is gold.
We're seasoned podcasters now.
Yeah.
We are Canadian Podcast Award nominees.
Right.
Actually, I don't know when this one comes out. We might have already lost by then.
We definitely would have lost already by now. Yeah. This is coming out in like a month, I think.
Oh, yeah. Then we've lost by now.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry for letting you down.
Yeah. Yeah, you should have known what you were getting into.
No.
But speaking of what you're getting into, we obviously know what the next segment is. International titles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Heart.
Everyone's got one of those.
Except the friend. No.
I mean, yeah. So,
some of these are just going to be Heart. I'm wagering a bunch of them are just Heart.
3 of them are.
Okay.
Can you guess which 3? I'm actually curious.
Brazil.
No. Brazil is actually the farthest away.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Finland.
Nope.
Germany.
Germany, yes.
Poland.
Yes.
France?
Czech.
The Czechs?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't check in on the checks that much. This is the new segment.
Yeah, check in on checks.
Check it in.
Checks.
Check it in on the Czech Republic.
The checks check.
Yeah.
But they're also usually just make it the title of the episode, I find.
Right. Okay.
All of them just heart.
Gotcha.
The Finns.
Like evil heart, or is it like a variation like that, something like that?
No,
or like the werewolf or something.
Yeah,
like
we're moving very far away and just going directly to what this thing is. Okay. Most of everybody else just talks about the thing,
right? So it's like the werewolf.
So this is
Wolfman, or
so Finnish is werewolf.
Sure.
Hungary,
okay,
the werewolf.
Awesome. They only have one.
Yeah. The French,
Wolfman.
Le loup-garou.
Loup-garou means werewolf.
Yeah. The werewolves.
Yeah. Oh, right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Brazil came in a direction I was not expecting.
Dog boy.
No, that's too literal in this situation. Brazil's getting real French about this.
Okay.
It is
consume the heart or something.
No, that's again too direct.
Oh, that I have no idea.
So vague.
Okay.
Could literally be the title of every episode.
Okay.
Painful mission. Painful mission. You must be talking about heart.
Yeah, not to be confused with painful emission,
Yeah.
which I'm sure Dina's dealt with at some point.
Oh no. Got to get that E-test, man.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Painful mission. I was like, well, obviously, what other episode could it have been?
I mean, Jesus, Brazil, way to phone it in.
I know.
Painful mission. I mean, it is, but that's not distinct.
No, but this and every other episode.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Painful mission. I love that.
Yeah. Some featured music from this episode. We got some bangers. We got Look at You by Screaming Trees.
Sure.
Screaming Female's a very good band. Not this band, but very good band.
Okay,
Similar
good.
title.
Tangential.
Yeah. That's a sidestep. Silent Lucidity by Queensryche. Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of words in there that make me uncomfortable.
By?
Yeah.
Hitting too close to home.
I mean, listen, I'm coming to terms with it.
You're married. What are you going to do now? You may as well just now engage the...
I've been over this. I'm just not that into dicks. I've got one. I know what the fuss is about. It's not great.
It's not bad.
It's fine. I wouldn't go crazy. I'm not cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over it.
3-star review.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a fine hotel.
Yeah. I'd stay there. I wouldn't know if I would recommend people to come to it.
Oh, God, no.
Smoking Gun by Kip Winger. Kip Winger. Not the band, just Kip Winger.
What do you mean, not the band? What band do you think I'm thinking of? What band do you think Kip Winger is making me think of?
Oh.
Are you thinking of Wings, like Paul McCartney?
No, Kip Winger was in an actual band, I believe.
Oh. Okay. Well, that name means nothing to me.
Yeah, it was in the band Winger.
That also means nothing to me. Should I know what Winger is?
It's a big 80s band.
Really?
My wife would really be upset that you didn't know that. But.
Yeah, I mean, considering I kind of dig 80s.
Yeah. Winger's a big one.
I have no idea who Winger is.
Yeah, but the guy's name is Kip Winger.
Way to go, Kip.
Yeah. And Down the Street by the Stooges.
There we go. Finally, something recognizable.
Yeah. TV Guide describes this episode as Sam and Dean are on the trail of a werewolf, but their only lead is a woman whose former boyfriend has been stalking her, and Sam finds himself falling for her.
Oh, Sammy.
Oh, Sammy. You always choose the ones you can't get.
I mean, yeah, Dean's one to I mean, we're not there yet, but... We're not there yet.
Next week we'll be there. No. It's 5 years. 2 years. No, 1 year actually for that.
I'm thinking of so many things we can't talk about yet.
Yep. All right. But before we get into today's episode, why don't we open up Dad's Journal and talk about the real world lore on today's episode? God damn it.
Wow.
I really need to rewrite that.
Yeah. Let's see what the lore says about werewolves.
Oh, wow. Today was today's monster. I should have... Oh, man.
You really fucked up.
Oh, I've been staying away from monster because I don't know how esoteric you're going to get.
Let's see what the lore says.
So the abstract idea of fear.
Let's see what the lore says about the gaping void in my soul.
It's not the gaping void in your soul I'm concerned about.
Jesus Christ.
We're not in the workplace. Fun Richard's back.
He's back, baby. Yeah, no, we're talking about werewolves. We're talking about an actual monster again today. So, a werewolf, of course, meaning like a person who turns either fully into a wolf or into like an anthropomorphized wolf person.
Yeah, because were can be used for multitude of different types of transformation.
Well, that is true too. The word itself comes from Old English.
Where?
It's too early. I have no like all of my like quick response energy is like gone.
Yeah. It's from 3 hours ago when you were asleep.
Yeah. So it means man wolf. There's other terms that are used like lycanthropy or lycanthrope. That comes from Greek words like leucanthropos, which again means wolf man.
Oh yeah. What about Teen Wolf Man?
The term though, leucanthropos, probably at the time in ancient Greece only referred to having the characteristics of a wolf, like being like having like a ravenous appetite or something like that. Like ancient Greeks didn't necessarily
Believe in werewolves?
fully believe in werewolves the way we conceive of them.
Yeah, now we know they're real.
Now we know. So it generally refers to like a curse or affliction in which the victim can't control their transformation. So it's a form of shapeshifting. The curse is typically passed on by being scratched or bitten or sort of otherwise infected by a werewolf. It's the common folklore now is that the light of a full moon activates the transformation.
Yeah.
It's generally considered, werewolves are generally considered to be more of a dark and Middle Ages European belief. Like that's where it really started coming to prominence. But there are references to wolf-human hybrids and transformations in ancient Rome and Greece. So there's this thing called the Lycaean Zeus. So in an area of Greece called Arcadia, the
Grape meat pies.
there's a folkloric kind of thing about Zeus, who would transform himself into animals for usually like rapey purposes. But Zeus would transform himself into a wolf, and this area was sort of thought to have been involved in like ritualistic sacrifice to this Lycaean Zeus, like a wolf Zeus.
Jeez.
So there's a history, a story from Ovid called about Lycaon, who was a guy who didn't believe that Zeus was didn't believe Zeus was who he said he was. So he tries to feed him like human entrails, and Zeus is so angered that, depending on the story, he either destroys him with a lightning bolt or whatever, but he basically curses this guy and his family to become werewolves, turns them into wolves.
Whoa.
There's a thing about like tasting one bit of human entrails minced up with those of other victims is inevitably transformed into a wolf.
Once you pop, you just can't stop.
Yeah, and there's also belief, like this belief may also have sprung from a tribe called the Nuri, and they're from Scythia, which is like modern day Russia, who would wear like wolf pelts and stuff in harsh winters. So like people might have seen people walking around that looked kind of like wolves and stuff like that. So belief in werewolves really takes hold in medieval Europe, though. There are many references in literature to lycanthropy, and it became such a believed and feared phenomenon in Christian countries that there were werewolf trials.
Whoa.
In the way that there later were witch trials. So in 16th century France, the practice of werewolf trials was relatively common, though always less common than witch trials. Witch trials was like, it was a big fad.
Yeah.
It was a meme. It was
You throw them in the water.
Let's say witch trials were viral.
Yeah. Throw them in the water with a rock attached to them. If they drowned, then they were human.
Yeah, what else floats on water?
Yeah.
Churches! Very small rocks! A duck! So there were actual werewolf trials. So you say, like, well, what would convince someone that you were a werewolf as opposed to being a witch? So the evidence of lycanthropy was usually like the frequency or the severity of violent acts.
Yeah.
Like, if be different from like killing a person to like dismembering them, or
I wonder if there was just serial killers.
They'd be like, it's too feral. Well, I think that's part of it too. Like, I know that we talked about it in the H.H. Holmes thing that he's like the first serial killer.
But he's not. Like,
he's clearly not. There are multiple murderers. You know,
like they're people like Cain and Abel. There's always been fucking.
Well, I mean, Cain famous for only killing one person.
I know, but I'm saying like people have been murdering people. There's the chances of them going on and continuing that.
Yes, yeah.
Once you've killed once, it's impossible to stop.
Yeah, they call him the Pringle Killer. So the thing that it could be like the severity of a murder, or if it was happening frequently. It also, like, there may have been evidence of cannibalism, and they'd be like, "That's wolf, like you're a werewolf," kind of thing. The interesting piece, though, is that not all of the werewolves that were charged and convicted were put to death. Like, if you were convicted of being a witch, they killed you.
Yeah.
If you were, some of the people convicted of being a werewolf, including, I think he was like a teenager in France in like
a teen wolf,
a literal teen wolf in France in the early 1600s, was just sentenced to life in prison.
Oh, but aren't they like, well, he never turned again?
Like, because he's here.
Yeah.
Because he's repenting before God.
Yeah. Because he can't see the moon.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, listen, if we're going to start poking holes in it.
I feel like they weren't really doing this based on logic. I'm just going to put it out there. I know that, look, I hot topic, but.
This is Joe Rogan talking about werewolf.
Yeah.
The werewolf law.
Look, I'm just a dummy, but all I'm saying.
There's two sides to this.
Yeah.
So. For some reason, as witch trials increased and belief in witches increased, it became more and more generally accepted that werewolves were not real.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those rare instances where it was like, in early days, they were like, this probably isn't a thing.
Yeah. Jeez.
Which is very odd. So in other cultures, so a lot of Eastern cultures have similar folklore, but with different animals. So you were talking about putting the word were in front of things. So
yes.
This isn't what they would call it, but there is folklore about were tigers and were leopards and stuff like that.
Did you ever watch the True Blood when they started getting into that shit?
Yeah. I had mostly fallen off by that point, but yes. Yeah. In Turkic folklore, they viewed werewolves more favorably. I guess like the wolf was like a totemic sort of like symbol for the Turkic people. So they believed that only certain shaman and stuff like that could assume the form of a wolf, and it was actually like a sign of power and respect, and that as opposed to something to be feared. Is that they were like embodying the symbol of the people kind of thing.
If your father was Turkic and your mother wasn't, does that make you Turkish?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Landed it. So, couple of little fun things to end off here. How to recognize werewolves in human form.
Okay, this is good.
So many
get out your pens, hunters.
Many folklores posit that even in human form, a werewolf has wolf-like traits like claws or hairy faces.
Is that just a werewolf?
Don't worry about it.
Is that what you shaved today?
So there are also some rumors that you could just like cut a werewolf and you would see the fur just beneath the human skin.
Weird.
Like that was how they pictured it, that they were like, werewolves were basically just like not wearing like a suit, but essentially just wearing human skin.
I was just saying, like, wouldn't that be a werehuman then?
Oh my god.
A wereman?
A wereman. Wereman, daddy.
Wereman.
So then some variations on the myth.
Yeah.
So most Christian interpretation of werewolves is that they're evil, right? But there's an example of this guy, his name was Theus of Livonia, who testified that he and other werewolves were hounds of God.
Whoa.
Which is badass.
Yeah, that sounds fucking cool. Because it's like, there's...
Release the hounds or the bees, or the hounds with bees in their mouths. In some early traditions, you could temporarily change it to a werewolf, like not the full curse, but you could do it temporarily by rubbing a magic salve on yourself,
yeah, baby, rudge me,
or by drinking water from like a wolf track in the ground, or other things like that. Some other kind of beliefs that way. In Hungary, there was a belief in that you could develop lycanthropy as an infant if you were like the victim of abuse.
Whoa.
I know.
Look, I just am trying to make them a werewolf.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no. In the 19th century, some Greeks believed that an undestroyed werewolf corpse would return as a different animal, like a hyena or something, and then like prowl battlefields and drink blood.
Whoa.
They believed in like revenant werewolves and
Hell
stuff.
yeah.
The idea of silver seems to come from 18th century English folklore. But just generically, that folklore mentions that silver is useful against shapeshifters. So it wasn't specifically about werewolves, but it's like werewolves as a form of shapeshifter. So this has now morphed into the silver bullet legend that we've got now.
Oh, yeah. Coors, baby.
Yeah, the silver bullet.
You just throw them a Coors and they just chill out because now they're a cool guy.
It's the Snickers commercial, but you shoot them with a Coors.
There's a hole through them.
Fucking giant Coors-shaped hole. But they're back in human form. They're like, thank you for freeing me. Coors, the silver bullet.
Yeah. That's amazing.
No wonder our SNL package has never been picked up.
We're too funny.
Yeah. We're too real.
Yeah. Deal with it. Well, that was our lore, so why don't we now get into today's episode?
Yeah, let's do it.
Baby. Oh, yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Skip the recap. I don't need that shit.
Yeah, so we start in San Francisco, future home of Starfleet.
Yeah, they actually said that in the subtitle.
Yeah, that's what this episode's about.
So it's like a subplot.
I know her.
Oh yeah, she's in a ton of stuff.
I know her.
This actress is in lots of stuff. Yeah, we open up in a local bar in San Francisco. Oh no, not yet. So first we actually are at her workplace.
Right.
It's a very weird intro because it's like super slow-mo.
It is, but at least it's not that.
Oh, that's why. You know what it is? It's it skipped the recap, but it actually wasn't the recap. It's the actual cold open because there was no recap for this episode. Okay, yeah. Can't skip the recap because it's the beginning of the episode.
Let's start over.
Yeah.
We open on San Francisco, California, future home of Starfleet.
Yeah. We're at a local bar in San Francisco that'll actually be like the captain's.
Oh, yeah.
Four ladies are sitting at a table having cocktails and laughing.
I know who she is.
She's in a lot of stuff.
They all
especially
seem
genre.
They're all like business ladies out for like a drink after work kind of thing.
Yeah. A guy walks over, Nate.
His tie's a little undone, so you know he's had a couple of drinks.
Yeah, exactly. So this guy's name is actually Nate Mulligan. Just like the second chance theme of this episode, mulligan is a common term for golfers as a second chance for that.
That's cute.
Yeah. He's making it very obvious that he's trying to hit on our main character.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's not doing a
Madison.
great job of it.
No, not great.
Yeah. She's kind of shutting him down sort of politely, but he's disappointed or whatever. And then all of the ladies are like,
he's got such a small dick.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then we pan outside and the fucking Winter Soldier is there.
Oh my God, it really does look like him. Yeah, she notices a man staring at her with an evil look. She turns away for a second, and when she turns back, he's gone.
Yeah. 7 freight train.
Yeah, he's going to activate her later. Madison walks outside to her car, acting nervous and a bit frightened because, she's a woman in a city and
at night, and there was a guy staring at her from outside.
Yeah, and women aren't
These
safe
are
in cities.
Reasonable reactions.
Yeah, absolutely fair. She hears like dogs growling, like garbage sounds. The fake out. She hears something, looks, and it was an animal.
I need to know who she is. This is bothering me. You keep going.
Okay. Thanks. She gets into her car, and the man is seen on the corner watching her drive off. Yeah, not suspicious at all.
Yeah, no kidding.
He's just like...
She's not in anything big enough, but I guess she's just in a lot of things.
She's in a lot of
stuff.
stuff.
See her all the time.
Yeah, she's in a lot of stuff. The next morning at work, now we get to she's making coffee very slow-mo.
Yes, yeah. But at least it's not that like sort of shaky slow-mo
well,
from
they did it intentionally.
whatever a few weeks ago that we were complaining about.
Oh, yeah. It was last season, wasn't it?
I think it was this season,
Oh,
but
was
it was
it?
just like it was a bad one.
Well, they
yeah.
filmed this in actual slow-mo, that first shot there. But breathing heavily. I love when the captions say that.
Yeah. Yeah, and then she sees there's like a blood mark on
Her boss's office.
the door of the office. There's blood on the carpet. She opens the door.
There's like a ton of blood all over the floor.
Yeah.
And
the boss, the guy that was hitting on her at the bar, is like fully eviscerated on his desk. It's amazing.
I don't know why you feel that way about a boss getting eaten.
Oh, well, you know. Watch your back, I guess.
Oh my God. She drops the coffee pot on the floor, screams hysterically.
Yeah.
And
it's good. I mean, and then we immediately cut to like the coroner pulling the body out and it's been all stitched up. Great, like prop and like whatever you call it, like body model kind of work.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, you could see a bit of the
You can see the makeup on the guy a bit.
Just because we're now in the shot, this wasn't shot to be looked at in like high def.
And to pause and
yeah. Sam and Dean are
looks
using
good, though.
Yeah, Sam and Dean are posing as detectives using the aliases Detective Dante and Detective Landis. Joe Dante directed The Howling 1981 and John Landis directed An American Werewolf in London in 1981.
Yeah.
Which, like, The Howling and Werewolf in London both came out in 1981. What the hell was going on that people were obsessed with werewolves? Jeez.
They weren't obsessed with those are documentaries.
Oh no. Nate's body appears to have one massive bite mark running down his chest. Does that count as a bite mark at that point, or is it just a tear mark?
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah. Oh God, that was visceral. I felt that.
Off the record, the medical coroner says that if she didn't know any better, she'd have said he was bitten by a wolf, and then she looks at him a long time and goes, "A werewolf."
Yeah. That's funny. We cut to the guys in the motel room, and they're talking about how these strings of murders occur in like the week leading up to a full moon, and that like these guys are already on the trail.
Yeah.
Dean has a box of silver bullets. They're like, it's pretty obvious what this is.
Well, because
right?
also like the coroner said that his heart was missing as well, so it's
Yeah.
like all the stuff is pointing towards things that they already know.
Yeah.
This is the first male corpse, though, as Sam and Dean discuss.
Right.
Over the past few months, several women have gone missing. Their bodies turned up later in the bay, all with their hearts missing.
Yeah.
They were all hookers working at Hunter's Point, though.
Oh, yeah. This creepy guy. Yeah. So they show up at her name's Madison. They show up at her house. Madison is the woman we were following before who found the body and was getting hit on at the bar and all that kind of stuff.
Sam and Dean are questioning Madison about Nate because they know that she worked under him and she was the one who found his body.
Yeah.
She says she probably knew more about him than he did. He was generally a nice person, but would hit on any girl within a 5-mile
I know.
radius
She's being
when
so
thrown.
generous here.
I know. He's a piece of shit. He deserved to die.
Oh, Jesus.
What? Was that too far the other way?
Oh, God. Oh, Lord. Although I do remember, I think I took a pretty hard stance on someone several episodes ago.
Yeah, I just arbitrarily decide where I stand.
Yeah, yeah.
She continues saying that her ex-boyfriend Kurt got into his head that she and Nate were involved. He showed up at her office one time and threw a punch at Nate before a security could go and grab him.
That he's been stalking her.
Yeah,
that's the Winter Soldier guy that we saw earlier. Yeah,
she says that he showed up at the bar the night that Nate died, just staring at her, and truthfully, like Kurt scares her.
Yeah, and he should.
Yeah. You see a cop going, "Wow, boys will be boys," and then he walks away.
I mean, that's probably what would happen.
Yeah. The boys both agree sort of that Kirk, it seems like there's a good chance that Kurt's going to be the werewolf here.
Yeah, stalker ex-boyfriend, hates the boss. You think he's our dog-faced boy.
Well,
and
it's
then
a theory.
I think, Sam is like, it's a theory. Dean's like, we've had worse. Dean's like, can I shoot something yet? He's like so ready to go.
Oh yeah, I mean it's pretty easy with a werewolf, right? Especially if it's a piece of shit who's like,
Yeah, and Dean had said earlier, silver bullet to
Yeah.
the heart. We
Yeah.
already know how to kill this thing. Well, there's no part of this episode where they're going to have to figure it out or learn. It's literally just
we've got the tools.
who is the werewolf, track it down, which is kind of cool setup.
Seems like a really easy like A to B, right? Like,
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, we see the problem. So later this evening, Madison hears barking outside of her apartment. When she looks out the window, she
Just a
sees
bunch of people listening to Who Let the Dogs Out.
when she look, it's one of those like the barking Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So she sees Kurt standing on the sidewalk staring at her.
Yeah.
She turns away for a second, but then of course he's gone again.
And I mean, this guy's so good at this. He's like fucking Batman.
Seriously,
You turn away for a second, he's gone.
So the boys now break into Kurt's apartment, probably around the same sort of time.
Yeah.
It seems like, he seems like a pretty normal guy.
Yeah, it's funny because when we see him in real life, he looks terrifying.
Yeah.
Whatever. But the pictures are like him fishing and stuff in his apartment.
Yeah, we get an eye view from, we get the sort of like perspective view from inside the apartment. Someone's watching the guys.
The fisheye lens kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. They're not really finding anything except for like leftovers and a 6-pack in the fridge. Maybe there's human hearts hiding behind the Haagen-Dazs or something.
Yeah, that's a funny line. I like that.
But they're basically just going like, this guy, like we're not really getting anything. They suddenly hear a screeching noise outside though.
Yeah. And Dean goes to like the window and goes to have a look because he heard it was like a squeak or something, and he goes out there.
Yeah, and he's looking over the balcony and he finds scratch marks running down the fire escape.
Yeah, it's pretty metal. Like,
yeah,
these scratch marks like in the fucking concrete or whatever. Like, it's pretty cool.
On the street below, a cop hears a bang behind a dumpster. Upon checking it out, he then
Okay, I'm going to ask her a question here. That's
fuck
going to
this cop,
sound
actually. No, I'm glad he's
this is going to sound dumb, but
yeah.
When it's nighttime in a big city, do cops do patrol just alone and walking
into a dark corner
as opposed to like being with a partner in a cop car driving around? Do they actually just walk around alone?
I'm also
the setup of this is just a little kind of convenient.
Also, I mean, come on, this is a cop in America. He probably just hears the sound, just starts shooting.
Yeah, this cop,
he's not following the cop rules at all.
He's not. He didn't do any of his cop training.
Shoot first, ask questions
didn't
later.
Shoot first. Didn't try and plant drugs on the werewolf. But the guys find him ripped open.
The guys run downstairs, find him just basically covered in blood, completely torn up. So now we go back to Madison's apartment. Sam and Dean decide to check on Madison, right?
Yeah.
Because they're like, if this werewolf is out there, something bad's going to happen.
And both times they've gone to check on Madison, this fucking weird Christian neighbor Glenn is either there or across the hall. And again, you just start to feel for Madison, he can't take a fucking breath without a bunch of mouth breathers like, can I be with you? Like, fucking, we get it, man. She's hot.
She tells them that she saw Kurt outside her, last night just staring at her. Dean suggests that one of them should stay with her just to be safe. Madison walks into the other room and grabs the address from of the body shop that Kurt owns.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to sound great. He's got a full-time job.
Yeah.
I'm coming around on this.
Yeah. She should be with...
Yeah, what's wrong with her?
Oh, God.
The boys...
the guys rock, paper, scissors to see who should stay with Madison. And
this is actually...
And Sam goes, Dean, always with scissors,
Yeah.
buddy. And Dean's like, 2 out of 3. And Sam beats him again.
So funny. They
like poor, just fucking dumb Dean.
This is also a thing that through the rest of the series, the rock paper scissors comes back.
That's right.
But this is the first time we've seen it, which is kind of awesome. Later that afternoon, Sam is sitting at the table like a stiff, trying to think of something to say.
So uncomfortable. He's just sitting there. She's checking her mail. She's like, "Do you want to sit on the couch?" She's like, "No."
And she's like clearly into him.
Well, I mean, I mean, yes, she is.
Madison offers him a seat at the couch, on the couch several times, but Sam politely
I mean, this is a move. She has the whole apartment to do her laundry, and she dumps all her underwear on the table.
Just her underwear?
This is a move and a half. Poor Sammy. He's like, maybe I will sit on the couch.
Yeah. So funny.
Yeah, she's got like a big grin, and she's really working it. Yeah, it's true. She's got strong Dean energy.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, this is
Sam calls Dean, and the first thing Dean says, "Let me guess, you're sitting on her couch like a stiff." Just very funny.
Dean phones him and says that he's got a hunch on where Kurt might be.
Yeah, Dean had been checking out the body shop. Meanwhile, Sam's trying not to check out the body shop.
Yeah, he doesn't want to check anything into the body shop. After finishing her laundry, Madison joins Sam on the couch.
She doesn't move the throw pillow thing. Just sits like, you ever sat in a couch that has a pillow?
Yeah.
So uncomfortable.
Yeah. No, because her intention is not to sit there very long.
No. Yeah, she's really, really going for it.
So she turns on the TV. He gives her a quick, like, do we really have to watch this look?
Yeah. She's being very, like, cool, though. Like, she's got, like, cool girl vibes where she's like, I get to watch my show, my house, blah blah blah. And yeah, it's kind of fun. And when we cut to like, we sort of do like a time has passed thing. The episode's over, and Sam is like, wait, so Kendall, like he's like invested in the episode.
Well, yeah, about Kendall marrying Ethan's father. So this is
that like a soap?
It's
thing?
an All My Children thing.
Yeah,
which is very funny. He admits that he's hooked. Sam then questions her as to what she was doing with Kurt when they were dating.
I kind of like this shot. It's got a almost forced perspective thing because Sam is closer to the camera. It's an interesting shot, though. It feels very casual. It doesn't feel like a normal TV shot. And it was kind of nice to see them sitting on the couch together and chatting that way.
Yeah.
It's like it's blocked really nicely.
Madison says she's not really sure, but that she felt too insecure to leave. However, after she got mugged, her life took a turn for the positive, and she was finally able to leave him. It seems like this new confident version of her is actually very new. This is not the person she was before. Sam responds to her by saying that he finds her unusually impressive, which I don't know what the fuck that means.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's talking about how she's independent and all this kind of stuff. And
with his ever so perfect timing, Dean calls at that exact same moment because they really are starting to bond. You can see she also looks like much older than him in this episode. I don't know if that's the case.
Oh, does she?
I mean, he's also supposed to be in college, and she's
he's supposed to be 23 or 24,
and he's she's got a full office job. I wonder.
He's supposed to be maybe 23
because he was only he would have been in second year, right, or first year of under his undergrad or something, right?
Man.
What?
Sorry, I think I'm into it.
Oh, you mean a pushy brunette who's the...
I wouldn't say pushy.
Confident. Yeah.
Yeah, someone to boss me around a little.
Yeah. Is that something that you're into?
I'll be over here. Keep reading your fucking notes.
Yeah. Just wait for the darkness. So... Yeah, Dean calls. He says that he found Kurt and that he's definitely got his eyes glued.
Dean has his eyes glued on Kurt.
Yes.
He was like, I found Kurt. He glued his eyes.
I don't know. Is that a werewolf thing?
I'm not going to lie, Sammy. I'm pretty confused.
Should we check the Elmer factory? I don't know. Is that where werewolves go? I thought we knew werewolves. I have no idea anymore.
We've been talking all this time, and that's how long Sam and Madison have been chatting on the couch. That is a scene where it's very smart to set up a real ramp up of their emotional investment in each other because they're being very honest. They're spending a lot of time, and we're spending a lot of time with them.
Yeah.
Smash cut to Dean at a strip club.
Well, obviously, yeah. Yeah, he's at a strip club at the front stage watching a dancer go down and paying her off. So that's a weird way to write that.
Yeah, he's not paying. She's doing her job.
Later that evening, Madison turns in for the night, but Sam's sticking around to keep an eye on her. I'm surprised she doesn't just there's room for two in this bed.
I mean, it's implied.
It's implied.
She's got one of those.
Nothing's implied. No. Sorry.
She's got one of those apartments where like the bedroom is like kind of open on the living room, but it's got those big kind of like French doors or whatever. Sam is still up watching TV. Is it implied that he's watching the soaps?
I don't know, but that would be very
funny.
So
it's a full moon out.
It's a great shot.
It is a really good shot with the crane kind of silhouette and stuff in front of the moon. Yeah.
Dean is standing outside Kurt's apartment building, reloading his gun.
Yep, nothing to see here.
Nope, just a guy with a gun putting bullets into it.
It's just the alley where a cop was murdered yesterday.
Yeah, now a guy's with a gun waiting for a next cop. Yeah, he's become. Oh, what's that movie about? With the
what are the cops in this city doing? They're not even protecting their own.
Good.
I mean, yeah, but like it's just in such like not a real vision of
not at all.
Yeah. Then it
the window shatters from the outside of Kurt's apartment. He runs upstairs to find a transformed Madison on the floor, hovering over Kurt's dead body.
Yeah,
she knocks Dean. She knocks Dean unconscious, and but manages to leave a mark on her.
Dean like slices her
with his knife. Yeah, before she escapes out the window. So. Now we know, holy shit, Madison's the werewolf.
Crazy. And then it's like the morning and Dean is like, so the werewolf knocked me out. It's Madison.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, awesome job keeping an eye on her.
Sam's confused because he's been with her the whole time. But after seeing the mark on her arm where Dean nicked her with his silver knife, he realizes that she's a werewolf. So basically she's going to... she wakes up and he can literally see it on her arm.
Yeah. And also, I know she's into him, but like now her bedroom door's open. He's standing there. She just rolls over and goes, morning.
Yeah, not like
what is happening? Yeah.
So Sam now goes and bolts a lock on the front door, which I'm just like, shouldn't that have already been on?
Also, I mean, that's
a bad sign.
It's such a scary, because she's, I mean, I guess she probably knows what she is, but you know what I mean?
She doesn't.
Oh, no, she doesn't. That's right. So now just this guy that's in her house goes and locks the door and takes a gun out.
Sam ties Madison to a chair, but Madison is hysterical, sobbing and claiming that Sam is the one who needs help.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as werewolves. I mean, God, she's got really bad taste in guys.
Yeah. She's like, I'm not a werewolf. There's no such thing.
It's kind of crazy because, like, imagine being in that position, like, not knowing, like, if that just suddenly happened to you, you're just like, what? Like, you're in a world, like, so many things have to go through your mind to now realize that this is real. Like, I don't know if I would ever believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, this is tough for Sam, and she's crying, and
Sam's doing such a bad acting job.
She thinks she's talking him down, like he's gone crazy.
Yeah, Jared's not at his top of his acting game in this moment, but
no, not in this moment. He was doing real well when it was like the fun, flirty stuff. Though
it's the problem is when they try to do the like long holding, like Sam looks serious in people's faces thing. Jared doesn't always really do.
He's got a little like tick where like he can't hold one face too long.
Yeah. So Dean arrives. Sam pulls him over to talk to him, saying that he's not sure that Madison is even aware of her transitions. Sam thinks that if they kill the werewolf that turned her, maybe that could save her.
Yeah, and Sam says, he says that she doesn't seem to be aware of it. Dean goes, like a hot, incredible Hulk. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the end of the episode is just her at the side of the road, like hitchhiking. But Dean's skeptical, claiming that a werewolf could have been anyone at any place. Sam hypothesizes she was bitten when she was mugged. So now we're starting to get the pieces together. It's
because that was the turning point. Now she's more confident. Blah, 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 blah.
God, how do you get bit by a werewolf?
Dean is saying even if she's telling the truth, she's a werewolf. She's in danger. She's a monster. We have to put her down. And Sam is like, I'm not just going to shoot some girl in the chest.
It's so crazy that they like season 2, and we're like we've had a few of these types of episodes.
Yeah.
Like most,
we're
series,
really getting into the gray area of hunting.
Like most series, it would have taken them 6 years to get to this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's true. It's true. Yeah.
They ask about when she got mugged. And she said the guy who attacked her bit her on the back of the neck about a month ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, God, she's actually doing a great job. She is a good actress.
She's doing great in this episode.
She's always good in kind of everything. She always does this great thing where every time I've seen her in anything, there's always like this like darkness like right behind her personality. Like you can feel like there could be something going on with her. I think that she does a really, really good job in this especially, but I've always really liked her. Did you find out what other stuff she was in? Or
I mean, she seems to have been on a bunch of stuff.
She's like a day player that basically
like, you know, NCIS or Law and Order or Republic of Doyle, or she's Canadian, so lots of, she's just in
lots of stuff.
Sam
says that if they can kill the werewolf who bit her, they might be able to save her and not have to waste her. Sam says that he'll stay with Madison while Dean goes after the werewolf, but Sam promises to shoot her if she busts loose.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be crazy for this. Like, the girl's just like, oh, you're just going to kill me if you find this thing that doesn't exist. If you don't find this thing that doesn't exist.
If you find evidence of a thing that is not real, I'm going to die.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah. This sounds great for me, right? But Sam's really going through his thing because, I mean, he was catching feels for her.
Yeah.
And I was really shipping them. And
oh, yeah. God, we're hip.
We're so fucking young.
Yeah. I stan this.
Oh my God. We're so young.
Yeah.
You know how people who are young say that?
Yeah. I am TikToking as we speak.
You mean speaking?
What?
I'm TikToking about this thing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So, I mean, you get a lot of these looks where Sam is just like, God, I got to kill this attractive girl.
Yeah. I mean, and again, you know, they just met, but what the episode does do well, I mean, especially that scene, they do make it credible that it's not necessarily that Sam is in love with her, but that they have a connection, that there's a reason for him to pause this much, that he's fully humanized her, that there's something between them, right? Like, the episode does a good job of setting that up kind of realistically. You don't have to believe that like they're soulmates or anything, but like it's there.
If you didn't know that the werewolves were real in this moment, like I'm watching Sam like gets down on his knee and goes like, look, I know you don't believe me and there's no reason for you to, but I'm trying to save you.
Yeah.
Like that, I'm like, you're a fucking psychopath.
It's crazy talk. Yeah. She was like, I'll take the fucking stalker.
Yeah. Like, that's fine.
I like this line where Sam says, like, if we manage to pull this off and we can cure you or whatever, I'll walk out that door. You'll never see me again. I'll just be a bad memory.
I want to be like, if I was her, I'd be like, how many times have you just walked away and there was just a bad memory?
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
We really feel good about this time.
Yeah.
So now we're at Hunter's Point. A blonde is walking slowly down the street.
And she's wearing like faux fur and stuff. Yeah.
Basically, they're trying to suggest that maybe she's a lady of the night.
Yes, but also the fur thing is kind of a fun reference in a werewolf episode.
Yes.
The moon comes out. Madison changes. She starts attacking Sam. So we're cutting between...
there's basically, you're seeing Madison leaving and then you're seeing a werewolf following this woman walking down the street.
Yeah.
I always love the Evil Dead sort of like camera perspective of the monster.
Yeah, so you know, there's definitely another werewolf out there, but this is the whole kind of.
But
premise,
now I mean, you're showing that there is multiple, right?
Sam traps Madison in the closet and moves like the entertainment unit in front of it or whatever to
very
trap her
strong.
in.
Again, probably you're even more into it now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We see like the fangs and stuff.
Yeah.
This werewolf is gonna eat this woman. Dean says, "Hey," we look up. It's fucking Glenn from across the hall. Christian boy. He was the werewolf.
Like, no wonder he's been paying attention.
Or he was a werewolf.
Yeah, because he's like, he's the one who changed her.
Yeah.
He lets her out. So basically, Sam does manage to lock Madison in a closet, though.
Yeah. Dean manages to kill Glenn, shoots him in the heart with the silver bullet.
I mean, it's
and you kind of see him like untransform, and then say like, "What happened? Help me! Help me!"
it's an interesting thing because I think this is the only episode in the entire series where they don't remember that they like.
Yeah, and it's sort of fucked up for Dean because he killed this werewolf and he's like, I got him. And then the last moments are Glenn going,
a human,
and Glenn going, help me. Oh my God. Oh my God. And he's like afraid. And then he just dies. And Dean's like, oh, I don't like this. Like,
it's kind of crazy. So
Sam. Yeah,
next morning,
Madison wakes up in the closet.
Yeah.
Sam opens the door. The door's covered in scratches and shit.
He lets her out and says that it should be over, and that she'll never see him again.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is like,
I don't know that this logic holds later in the show.
It doesn't.
Yeah. This idea of like killing like the parent werewolf.
Well,
thing.
even in this, they prove that that's not real.
Oh, that's true.
The episode's not over.
That's true. Yeah.
Like they make it seem like it is they do a good job of making you feel like, oh, this is the end of the episode. But now we go back and during the day, the boys are sitting outside Madison's apartment still inside the Impala.
Yeah.
I mean, they like. It's interesting, right? Because it does that fake out thing, right? Where you're just like, wow. Like they did it.
Yeah, they're talking about why do you think Glenn turned her instead of killing her? And Sam's like, it seemed like he had a thing for her. Maybe that like translated over in wolf form.
Yeah,
You know, yeah. Yeah, Dean is like, so what
happened? Yeah.
He's like, are you kidding me? After everything that just happened here.
But Madison suddenly comes to the window of the Impala and asks what the guys are still doing there. They tell her that they're pretty sure she won't turn tonight, but they need to be 100% sure.
Yeah.
Like, which is also terrifying because she's just like, oh, and if I
so the people that might murder me are still here. Yeah.
It's like, I'm friendly with you guys, but also if you like sense anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's like, if you guys are going to have to wait anyway, we might as well all wait together.
There's no point of you running upstairs to murder me. Just like pull the gun out and murder me.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's kind of come around to the idea that werewolves are real.
Yeah.
And things like that, which is, again.
But also,
anytime someone has to face this truth in Supernatural is sort of wild.
But also, she hasn't gotten much proof.
No.
She woke up in a closet. There were scratch marks everywhere.
She's pretty ready to believe it, which maybe she always had a little inkling or something.
Because she was like, oh, I black out all the time.
You know? Yeah.
There's a potential. But basically, like, she's just going off of, like, well, this guy could have made those scratches in the closet for me and knocked me out, but it's enough.
No, she's putting a lot of faith in Sam's kind face.
So they decide they're just gonna like pass the evening together. I love Dean goes like, poker.
Yeah. And Dean's like, great, we're hanging out. Sweet.
Yeah. And if you turn, I'll kill you. Like, oops.
Yeah. This is a good shot too. That day to night.
They do a really good job.
Time lapse kind of shot.
Especially with like the effects, because there's clearly like digital evening background.
It looks good though. Yeah. Like a lot of the nighttime stuff, even though it's clearly like a dressed up moon, like it's massive or whatever, is pretty cool.
I love that Dean's still trying. As the evening passes,
like Sam and Madison sitting on the couch close together, and Dean's just like, "I'm not here."
I know. It's like, what do you think we're like just gonna like start hitting on each other? The sunrise then arrives, and Madison hasn't turned evil, and it looks like it's all over. Madison is so thankful and gives Sam a hug.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Dean is such a cockblock. He doesn't go like, well, maybe I'll head out.
But he also wants
the coughs. Attention. He's like, can we thank me as well?
Yeah. He wants Sam to have it, but he's also like, I'm still like the center.
So
of
once he gets a little bit of attention, he goes, I'm gonna watch some pay-per-view or something.
It's like, are we leaving?
Yeah. Like, yeah, he's just like, yeah.
And he
does a fist bump on the way out. It's so.
Those are like the realistic moments, though. Like
I love that. Yeah,
that kind of stuff's really good. But yeah, Dean decides.
Even Madison is like, he thinks you're gonna get laid,
and he's like,
yeah,
am I?
Yeah. And Sam's like, listen, I know I terrified you. I'll
touch you to the chair, and she's like, well, funny thing you say that.
Oh god.
What is it, Laura Bolt?
Oh, you're right. Right, the aggressive Sam thing from the other episode. Yeah,
She was into that.
yeah, that was funny.
Dean heads back to the hotel after he leaves Sam and Madison. Oh, God. So I took this from something online. It says Sam and Madison make love.
Oh, I mean,
I don't know if this is making love.
it's not, but it's
I mean, it's...
again. Isn't it funny that a show that seems built around how hot everyone is has so few sex scenes?
So when you do get it, it's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Hachi machi.
Yeah, like, it's good. It's shot well, I think.
This is the first Sam lovemaking scene, too.
Yeah.
He's been fucking for episodes, but this is the first time he's made love.
I mean, like, it's shot well for TV, for this kind of TV. You know
Why
what
are
I
you
mean?
sweating?
Oh God! Is there a fireplace on? Or?
Yeah, in the show.
Yeah. Well, you're not feeling that.
It's an extended scene. They really love those sort of like peering through the fireplace.
But again, I mean,
why are they have a fireplace on?
I think we're doing this like a long scene because it's like nice mirror to the long couch scene, right?
Look at Sam's ripped.
Oh yeah. I mean, not as ripped as he gets.
That's true.
Sam gets jacked.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we see.
Yeah.
them-
Why is the fireplace on? It's like fucking summer.
That's just what I mean. So we flash to the evening. Sam awakens in the middle of the night to find Madison standing by the window and is a werewolf. And she's like, "Want to go for another round?"
Yeah, she's just standing there. It's weird.
We could
that
do
she's
it doggy
It's
style.
weird that. Oh Jesus Christ! Oh, you really are the dean. Yeah.
She hisses.
It's weird that she like waits there for Sam to casually wake up and then goes, "I'm heading out."
There's money on the counter. She hisses at Sam and dives out
goes
the
to
window.
get Dean and says, "She turned. I couldn't get her in time." Yeah, but they say like, "I talked to Bobby. He says we knew severing the bloodline wouldn't work."
It's like, then why did we do it? I figured you still had a chance, Sam.
Yeah, and so Dean is like, well, maybe she's got to be asleep to turn, right? Because the previous night she stayed up with them the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, and Dean is like, Sammy, I don't think we got a choice here anymore. And Sam is like, but.
Yeah, I mean, he really doesn't have a leg to stand on here. Basically, he's like, what am I supposed to do? You like,
yeah.
So they call.
Yeah, Sam gets a call from her, and she says, "I don't know where I am."
She says middle point.
Yeah, she's like looking for street signs and that. So they have to go get her. Oh, I forgot about this.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? This is a real painful mission.
Oh my God, I get it now. No, they were right.
You're right, Brazil.
This is the most painful mission.
I mean, it's up there thus far in the show.
I mean, up to now, yeah, I suppose.
It's up there.
But yeah, so they're now back at Madison's apartment. She says she doesn't remember anything.
She says it happened again. I turned, didn't I?
Dean tells her the truth that they've called everyone they know and have no cure.
Yeah, she's like, "Is there anything else we could do?" Sam's like, "We'll find a cure. We'll do something." And then Dean's like, "That's not really true."
Yeah,
he's like, "We've looked at everything. We can't find a way."
Like you can see she's sort of coming to terms with. I mean, it's got to be crazy to be able to like go.
3 days ago, I didn't believe in werewolves. Now I'm ready to die because I am one.
Like if someone told me that in the evenings I was a werewolf, I'm like, I'm normal like 90% of the time.
Yeah,
I don't know if
I just chain myself up when it's
Yeah.
a full. You know what I mean? Like, isn't there a way to manage this?
But they're basically like, but what if you like? Yeah, like, but what if somebody else dies? Like, you're just
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of crazy. She very quickly sort of just goes.
You know, Dean is being very sympathetic here, but he's also like resolved.
Yeah.
There's no wavering in Dean, but he's like, "I'm sorry, but like, this is how it is."
Yeah, this is the way things go.
Sam is not ready for this conversation.
No, like, it's kind of crazy. But like, Madison goes and grabs the gun.
Yeah, gives it to Sam.
And he's just like, no, you can't do it. And she's like, I can't do it to myself. So like, somebody needs to do that.
Yeah. It's tough. And again, kind of wild how this one episode sets up something that you actually care about. Like, this isn't a character that's been in here before. She is great. This actor is doing such really a good job. She sells all of it. The fear and the fun and the anger and everything. She's doing a killer job. Yeah, great casting here.
Yeah, she gives Sam the gun and says, "I need you to put one in me one more time."
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
What?
Remember what we did yesterday? This time I need you to peg me.
Oh, no. Yeah, I could see Sam being like that. But it's crazy because Sam's just like, basically, it's just like, there's no way I can do it. So then Dean walks over and he's just like, all right, like, I'll be the one to do it. And he takes the gun like slowly away from Sam. I mean, how often does this happen with the two of them?
Oh God, them standing on either side. I know it's framed. Yeah, it's tough because this is too much for Sam. He kind of walks away. Dean is ready to do it, but it's also like, what would make her feel more comfortable? It's probably if Sam, you know what I mean? Like, there's that kind of like at least looking into like a face you care about or something like. What a horrible situation this whole thing is.
This is also
because they don't even get to kill her as a werewolf.
Yeah,
she's just a person right now, and I mean it's bad.
I think this is a line from my fanfic. Sam starts shedding tears, and Dean says he'll take this one.
Yeah,
that's from my fanfic. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and Sam comes around, and he's like, "You're right, she's right."
This is the only way that they can save her. Which just saves a...
And then I think Sam comes around to what I was talking about.
This is actually a good tear moment. This is like good acting here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jared's doing a great job. But Sam says, this is his... she's mine. I'll do
it. Oh, no. He begs Dean to give him the gun so that he can finish the job.
Yeah, and this
this
hurts Dean not because a little bit, but not because they have to kill a werewolf, but because of how much it's hurting Sam.
Yeah, his brother. has
Dean
to do it.
Doesn't love.
Oh, this
that.
is a great single man tier moment.
Does he do it? Oh
yeah,
my God,
the single man tier.
Oh, it's perfect. How does he do it? Yeah, and it's a interesting shot because we just sort of zoom in. Sam takes the gun, goes in the other room. We zoom in on Dean and see that single man tier, and he's broken up about what it's doing to Sammy. And then you just hear a gunshot, and the episode ends. It's tough.
So I've got some stuff to say.
Oh fuck!
So Jared Padalecki has said that during the filming of this final scene in the episode where he has to kill Madison, in order to find the emotion, since it was still early days and the actors say that they weren't as tuned into their characters as they are now.
Sure.
Jared thought about a traumatic experience of having to euthanize two of his beloved dogs, Sadie and Harley.
Oh, God.
As a result, he got extremely emotional, and those are very real tears. Jensen backed that up, saying his own emotions on screen welled up because he knew how much it hurt Jared personally to have to call up those emotions and suffer through them in order to have Sam be visibly upset on screen.
Oh, geez Louise.
Jensen's tears came as a result of watching his close friend go through such emotional...
Oh, good Lord.
Also, it kind of makes you just love Jensen even more. It's just like, God, you could just look at somebody else and feel their emotions. God, you are everything.
Yeah. Ugh.
Wow.
Would that I could be a magic fingers massage for Jensen.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean that's a tough episode.
It is. It's a crazy one.
Isn't it wild that it's our introduction to werewolves? It's not like we get an episode where they're like, it's just a cool werewolf and
killing fucking werewolves.
And Dean being like, time to meet your makers, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Like, it's our introduction to werewolves is like the most ethically difficult episode they've had so far.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, man. Crazy.
It's insane. What is your review of this episode?
Oh, shit. Okay, well, we talked about it. The actor playing Madison,
Great job.
crushes this episode. She is so good. She has to play so many things convincingly, including the mystery of whether or not she's telling the truth.
Yeah.
We learned she's been telling the truth the whole episode, but there always has to be that doubt about, does she know she's a werewolf? Is she blah, blah, blah? What is happening here? What's she hiding? All this kind of stuff. She plays all of that. She plays that sort of like, she plays a real visceral fear. And she also plays that fear of like, I've been sitting down tied to a chair for a while. I'm not hysterical, but this is bad.
Yeah.
You know, she's playing that. She's playing the romance and the fun and the flirtiness. She's playing the
Like a werewolf's just
attraction.
beneath the
And that.
surface.
She's playing a werewolf.
Yeah.
You know, the violence, the growling. Like, she plays an actual werewolf. Like, it's good. She does a great job.
Yeah.
And it's she really holds it down. There's some stuff earlier on where Jared isn't quite there, but yeah, that end bit, Jared and Jensen are both crushing it. Like the emotional weight and fallout of what's about to happen.
Jared can get there. Jensen just has it locked and loaded whenever he needs it.
Yeah. But Jared does get there.
Yeah.
In this episode. Jared is good in the flirty bits.
Yeah.
It's not a fun episode, but there are fun
moments.
Sam flirty moments, which is always, we get fewer of those than the Dean ones, of course. But it's fun. I like that stuff. He plays it really well. I love that it's not what is the monster. We just go in, we're like, we know it's a werewolf. But then it's like, who is it? And then there's another one. They're like, how do we cure a werewolf? And then it's like, and the guys like fail.
Yeah.
They don't fail to stop the werewolf, but they fail to do it in a way that is like good.
Yeah.
You know, like
they don't save
and again,
the day.
the episode denies them the opportunity to kill her as a werewolf, which would have still been sad and like, I can't believe we had to do it, but you would have brushed past it.
Yeah.
Like,
they're not heroes in this episode.
In her fucking apartment, Sam just puts her down.
Yeah. Also, what do they do after that?
Yeah, because it is a gunshot.
Yeah. Like, and then do they dispose of the body? Like,
Great questions, all.
yeah.
But it's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that thing that we love so far in season 2 about like, was Dad a bad guy?
Yeah.
Is this a bad life?
Yeah.
Like, I know we help people, but are we bad?
Like, is this worth it? Like,
Yeah. Like, what does it do to hunters to be that thing? Do they all become Gordons eventually? Because you can't handle the emotion of it, so you have to separate yourself from it. Like, does everyone become a Gordon?
like
There's a lot of questions in this season, and this episode poses a bunch without even outwardly saying them. Like, some episodes, they really hammer home on the, what is the lesson we're learning here? This episode leaves a lot to just be interpreted, which is more nuanced than, I guess that's, props to Sarah Gamble, but that's like real props to the teleplay here, I think.
definitely.
I think I'm going to give this... I think I'm going to give this 4.75 doggy styles.
Completely undercutting everything you just said.
All the emotion.
I don't disagree with you. I mean, this is a super tight episode. It's you get that really cool fake out thing where you're just like, well, they solved it. Like they showed there was a cure, and then
It's paced really well.
They do a really good job of like building a relationship between those two characters without really showing much at all. The one evening and it was enough, right? Like, it's kind of crazy. It
almost has like a star-crossed lovers kind of thing where it's like, he was a hunter and she was a monster. It was never tested to work. Like, it's kind of something Shakespearean about it.
They do an okay job showing that like just like women should be fearful all the time because the world is terrible and men are awful.
That's true.
But then they sort of undercut it.
It's Madison and the Woman of the Night that we see, and both of them is like, oh my god, please don't be outside right now.
Yeah, I mean they kind of undercut it, bit being like, that guy Kurt was fine. She's the werewolf.
Yeah. Women are the wolves. A she wolf.
Undercut it a bit. But
I know what you mean, though. They do a good job of reminding you what you perceive the threat to be, because it's real and that's life and it's bad.
Yeah. They at least like know that they don't have to like like convince you that that's a fear,
Yes,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
Which is bad for the world, but good for television making.
I mean, good storytelling,
Yeah.
but yeah. Bad, yeah.
It makes me happy that Sarah Gamble was the one who wrote it.
Yeah, and that's probably why it's done so authentically and everything. Yeah.
Really, really good. Yeah, all the acting is really great. Jensen's not heavily featured in this episode, but does a great job.
He's good when he's in there. And we do get Fundine. We get
There's
a couple of moments of Fundine, like the fist bump and stuff like that. Yeah.
God, just from a filling standpoint, they must have loved this episode because they were not like each of them probably had a bunch of time off during the filming.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I always think about that kind of stuff. I'm like, God, it would have been great. Like all these and Jensen,
This is a big Sam episode though.
Yeah.
Jensen got.
He was like in the Impala a little bit, and then mostly just kind of like hanging out. Like,
yeah,
it must have like he just had to like sit outside of a building for a while in the dark and look cool. Like,
yeah,
it's a good episode for Jensen.
I could do that.
Yeah, I think I can make that work.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give this 4.5 summer sex fires.
Oh yeah, turn up the heat and close the windows. We're keeping the stank in.
Oh yeah. Oh no, we're gonna hotbox this sex house.
Oh no. Oh jeez Louise.
But yeah, that is our review for this episode. Maybe you want to tell us what you think about this episode, or maybe you have something to bring up that we missed from a past or future episode. You can do so through our email,
ghostfacerspodcast@gmail.com,
or reach out to us on our various social media platforms.
That's right, at Ghostfacerspod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
If you want even more content from us that maybe isn't supernatural related, but probably isn't relevant to your interest, we have a whole other podcast.
That's right. It's the Dr. DC podcast. It's about DC Comics. We answer listener questions. We talk about lore.
Yeah.
We talk about the rules of superheroes and different characters and stories and all sorts of fun stuff. So if you enjoy this, there's a lot of kind of similar elements over in the world of comic books and superheroes and stuff like that.
Yeah. And if you want some merch from us, all you have to do is go to ghostfacerspodcaststore.com.
Whoa, baby.
That's right. I have a sweater on its way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to get one. Yeah.
It's fucking cool.
That's tight.
All right. Say goodbye, bitch.
Jerk.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.